How to use the dash. The dashboard is composed of a number of different tools that provide data which allow you to emulate the physical demands of the ride. The first and most important tool on the dash is the effort meter. The effort meter provides a graphical representation of how hard you should be working during a specific part of the ride. In this video, we're ascending a small climb while trying to keep a good pace for other riders behind us. Watch how the effort increases as we continue to ascend. The effort meter is color-coded to help you quickly know what zone you should be training in, be it the weight loss zone, aerobic zone, anaerobic zone, or red zone. Each zone is based on a percentage of your maximum effort. Blue, which is below 70%, is your weight loss zone. Green, between 70 to 79% of max, is your aerobic zone. Yellow, between 80 to 89% of max, is your anaerobic zone. And red, from 90 to 100% of max, is your red zone. Be aware that the difficulty of each video is greatly dependent on the time spent in each zone. At the top of the effort meter is your heart rate goal displayed as a percentage of your max. Percent of max is calculated as your actual heart rate divided by your max. This value can be used to challenge yourself further by teaching your body how to precisely regulate efforts. Some heart rate monitors allow you to input your max heart rate and then automatically calculate your percentage of max. The gear ratio and resistance indicator provides you with two ways to determine what gear or what resistance you should be working at. The gear ratio is the best way to make changes in resistance if you're on your bike and trainer. With shifters, you can quickly make changes to gearing to simulate changes in pedaling effort. This animation provides an idea of how the gear ratio works. Notice how above the blue line, the numbers are ascending from 1 to 10. This corresponds to the gear that's in your rear cassette. Below the blue line are the two rings in the front, 42 being the small ring, 52 being the large. The resistance value is a tool to be used if you're on a spin bike. Most spinners are comfortable with a 1 to 10 scale used in classes. Basically, a 1 is a soft pedaling, easy spin resistance, whereas a 10 is a slow, leg-churning, difficult grind where you have to force the crank arms to turn. The cadence value allows you to identify what your pedaling cadence should be. While the cadence, resistance, and heart rate indicators attempt to synchronize, often it's difficult to match everything at the same time. Start out using either cadence or resistance while matching the effort goals. Much like the effort tool, the power tool provides a graphical representation of how much power the cyclist is producing during a given time. The power tool is a nice alternative or backup to the resistance and gear ratio tools. The power tool is a much more accurate way to identify sudden changes in power. At the top of this tool is a number that reflects a percentage of maximum power. What is maximum power, you might ask? This is a little bit more tricky. Unlike max heart rate, your max power is a minimum average over a given time interval. For example, suppose you're sprinting for the finish line. The competition is fierce, and you're out of the saddle hustling for all you're worth. You cross the finish 30 seconds after you begin your sprint and then rest. Now, suppose you're looking at the power profile for this effort. You might discover that the first 5 seconds you're generating about 800 watts. During the next 5 seconds, you're generating 750 watts. And then after that, 700 watts, and so on. As you get tired, your power slowly tapers off. Finding your max power over 30 seconds is simply an average power output over that 30-second interval. This is a much more accurate means of finding your max than trying to find an instantaneous max power output. Your percentage of max is calculated by dividing your current power output by your max. Most power computers can automatically generate the percentage of max value for you. The dashboard has 3 graphs. These are a really cool way to find out where you're located along the timeline of the ride. The graphs are divided by a bar, showing you where you're located along them. The top graph displays a hill profile. The middle graph displays the effort profile, and the bottom displays the power profile. Keeping your eyes on these are a great way to identify changes as they approach. The moving map provides some nice information about where you're cycling. Roads, topography, landmarks, rivers, lakes, and more can be identified so you don't feel lost on the ride. Also note, north is always up. I'm done. Have a great workout.
Welcome to part 2 of the Front Range into the Hills. We are just finishing up our climb to Carter Lake. And if you are just starting out, then let's warm up, get the legs back into gear. We're going to warm up a little harder, so let's put it into a higher resistance gear and just pedal until our heart rate is in the mid-70s. If you just put in the disc after the first one, you're still going, then keep up that cadence and keep up the heart rate. It doesn't drop much for a little while. So this is Carter Lake off to your left. It's a beautiful lake, a lot of sports activities, recreation, boats, swimming, and we're on the dam road. So I want that effort, if you're just starting out, to come up pretty quickly. Not too much warm-up time. Should be in the mid-70s right now. Watch the gear changes. And keep that cadence up. We are heading north along Carter Lake, and we'll be swinging around the north side. Some great camping out there. It's a nice low wind day. We got a little bit of a climb right here. Keeping up the cadence. Right around 90. Let's start getting our heart rate up into the high anaerobic zone. Shooting for the mid-80s if you're just starting. And flattening out here. Let's really drive up the cadence. Get our legs moving around 95. RPM. It's flattening out. And coasting. If you're still warming up, keep the legs moving. Acclimate to 85% of max. It does lift the tempo rather quickly. Now let's get back in those drops and work on some breathing techniques. Focus on core strength here. So stay light on your hands. Keeping your cadence up nice and high. And breathe in your chest, not diaphragm. Now focus on sucking the gut in. Let's go into a climb here. So a little bit heavier gear. Cadence should drop just a bit to a good climbing gear. About 80 RPM. Let's lift the tempo up. And it drops again. I'll work on getting that heart rate up. Cadence right around 100. Let's go. You should be at your target heart rate, just below 90%. Keep those legs going. And it drops again. It changes a lot. All right, drops and let's hammer. I'm riding right along with you. So my heart rate is high. Breathing is labored, or talking is labored. Get ready to climb here. Big gear up front. Nice climbing gear. Cadence of around 85. Let's get up this hill. $80 to $85. Hill's flattening out a bit. Still working the pedals. And now faster cadence. As we slow it up just a bit. And off to our left is the motorcycle rally. Slow down for these guys. No complaints. Bring the heart rate down. Bring the cadence way down. Oops. And a little hill, but low cadence. Bringing our heart rate down to 85, 86%. So we roll over the top and begin our descent. Let's get the cadence back up, work up our speed, and getting our drops or our tuck position, soft pedal, staying up with traffic. And here we go. We're getting dropped by the motorcycle, so getting the tucks, shift into a higher gear, pull that cadence up as fast as you can. Let's go. Catch back up. Lift that heart rate up to about 90%. Staying low and narrow. And we got our speed up here. Let's slow it down. Start coasting. Soft pedal. We're actually catching up. Practice your drops or a tuck. And we're actually coming out of the saddle here to slow ourselves down. As we relax, rest, get our heart rate back down, low 80s. It's a really short rest, so enjoy it. You can see the effort on the bottom graph. Spikes into the low 90s. And then we're going to start right about here. So let's lift our cadence up. Really want you to focus on cadence here. Just come to a stop. Make those gear changes secondary to your cadence. Little hill here. Yes, that was fun. Get our cadence nice and high, up to 100. And keep our heart rate right around 90%. We're actually hitting it pretty hard here. You should feel some nice positive resistance on your legs. Keeping your cadence up and your heart rate in the low red zone. If you're not at 90%, pick a harder gear. If you're too high, pick an easier gear. Keep that cadence at 100. You choose your gear. Getting those drops. Let's get arrow. Work on your breathing. Let's work for it. Come on. I am working. Come on. You can do the same. All right. Take off some resistance. Lower the cadence. Bring your heart rate down. Make it a left here. We almost caught him. That's what we were working for. So, let's recover a bit. Back up a little hill. There we are. So here, the hill is getting our heart rate up. So, a little bigger gear. Just below 90%. And let's do another cadence workout for the next couple minutes. We'll be maintaining a nice high cadence. We're at 84% from that little rest. We're gonna lift it right back up. So no breaks. Let's focus on a cadence of 100. Taking a break in the video, but you shouldn't. Little hill, keeping our heart rate just below 90. Kids, nice and high. So pick a gear that matches your cadence at 100. Keeps your heart rate just below 90. Once you're right at 89%. No more, no less. Learn how to fine-tune your heart rate. Stay at 89. If you go over, slow down. If you go up or down, speed up. We're going to slow down just a little bit soon. But not yet. Hills, a little hill here. And we passed up our left turn. Let's make a U-turn. And up the hill to the right. A little pedal in here. Put it in a bigger gear. Get up on this hill. keep our heart rate at 89% and play with the gears a bit. And flattening out. Let's slow up the cadence to a little more comfortable, 80 RPM. So we're slowly going to reduce the effort and take a break. Flattening out, slightly downhill. Let's slowly work our heart rate down to the mid-80s. But only slowly. Drink lots of water. Take off some effort on the, lower your gear ratio a bit. And let's just go into a little soft pedal mode until we get our heart rate down to 80%. Pick whatever gear you need and soft pedal, keeping the legs moving, keeping them warm. And we're coasting here, so it's a good time to get out of the saddle, stretch it out, stretch out your calves, rest your posterior. As you can see from the profile, got a fairly leisurely stroll here for the next 15 minutes or so, and then we start climbing. See by the red lines right before the hill profile peaks that we're going to put in some solid effort. But right now, let's maintain a aerobic zone between 70 to 75%, and just keep the legs warm by pedaling. Make a right turn here on the highway.